So I'm also testing out the new overlays and hotkeys and all kinds of fun things. All kinds of fun things. Okay, why is this not... There we go. All right, looks like we're hot to trot. We're on. So, huzzah! Okay. Um, actually, hang on a second here. I say we're good, but doesn't look like it wants to actually play. Hmm. It's being a pain in the ass right now. Give me one moment. Of course you're going to do that. Hmm. Oh well, doesn't look like I'm going to be live on Mixer. At least it's not letting me see it on Mixer. So, oh well. All right, we'll just roll what we got. Um, yeah, I've been having issues with Mixer ever since they forced Microsoft accounts on there, and 9 times out of 10, I can't even log into my broadcast. So it's like I really would love to share content on that platform, but I may have to shy away from it as it's not letting me do it. So
Ooh.
it's on them, their loss. So anyway, we are live on Twitch though and YouTube, so that's good enough for me. Um, we're gonna start with a little brief. It's not fair to say a recap. It's more of like an introduction. So we're gonna start with that. The setting has changed, as you will soon see. So, it is the 26th year of the Age of Rebirth. Just over 2 decades since the end of the Second Nemesis War and subsequent defeat of the Mad God by a group of legendary heroes. While the echoes of their deeds slowly settle over the years, life continues on. Hazelnut Swifttoes, or simply Hazel to the locals, inherited his family business after returning to his island home in the Scarlet Reef. Never having what it took to become a legendary hero himself, he converted the estate into a shelter for the poor and those lost in the deadly and pirate infested waters of the fractured seas. Along with the help of his half giant manservant Goldie, the Isle quickly became a successful port. Bustling trade and flowing coin soon attracted the attention of pirates and other criminals. Hazel had a plan, though, to create a band of protectors who could weed out these criminals and bravely tackle the other dangers of the fractured seas, and to help those in need. Even with him funding local militia groups of the surrounding fishing villages, the years have not been without their challenges for the small island. Many of the affluent folks of the Scarlet Reef treat this bold new direction of the Swifttoes family with ridicule, making support for the charitable endeavors an uphill battle. While many who joined the crew began to bristle at the idea of putting their lives on the line when they could just as easily take what they wanted instead. That said, The lack of arrests and the growing of a criminal organizations around the islands in the briny empire still left much mistrust and rumor mongering. Whispers of a growing threat in the neighboring kingdoms begin to stoke worry in the civilized isles. In this wake, the need for mercenaries slowly grows as Hazel has begun putting out flyers across the Wave Echo Valley, seeking new recruits for his courageous crew, promising adventure, gold, glory, and many stories to tell, much like those sung in the taverns across the briny empire. Now you, both of you, have arrived separately, piecemeal, to the port city of Peacock, a smaller yet quaint, seemingly wealthy port within the Scarlet Reef of the briny empire. You enter past the perimeter walls known as the Opulent Conches as the afternoon sun peeks through the cloud-dappled sky. You walk through the bustling officers' court filled with quaint shops and bistros, beyond the greens of the parks and garden grounds, to finally come upon the estate of the Swift-Toes family. Tall iron gates surround what might have once been beautifully tended gardens and hedges, now leveled to house the rather cramped tent city, filled with people who have seen better days and the hungry who huddle around open fire pits. The home itself is a beautiful mansion, although it appears that there's some minor damage on the upper floors, the repairs of which appear to have been abandoned for this time. You begin to gather a couple of strange faces at the gates before a loud voice suddenly breaks through, catching your attention. Hazel! You have guests! You look to see a man's head poking through one of the tent door flaps as it quickly closes. You both have a moment amongst yourselves, if you'd like to talk.
I'm getting like mixed messages. Do you think they can really pay decently?
I don't know.
Like, this is gonna be the worst contract ever.
Just look for the garbage. There's always truth in garbage.
Ew. Like, there's trash in there.
Yeah, that's the point. You can learn a lot of someone from what they throw away.
But that, like, requires digging through garbage.
Well, more garbage for me.
You do you, little man. You do you.
So what do you eat?
Like, food.
Yeah, the garbage.
No. Food.
Is there a garbage can nearby?
They do have some bits of refuse outside of the gate.
Do I walk over to the garbage and just grab something at random and shove it in my mouth and start chewing?
There appears to be some bit of discarded fruit peel, maybe from an orange or a tangerine.
Food.
I think my rates just jumped like 10%.
So, why don't you two describe your characters for everyone, just so in case they haven't seen the previous one-shot, since you're continuing to use your previous characters.
I shall yield the floor to Bandersnatch.
Well, I am but a goblin bard that eats garbage and likes to sing goblin songs. I'm dressed like a mime clown because you know what's creepier than a clown? A mime.
A goblin mime clown, the madness.
They all float, Georgie. They all float.
That they do.
Like, right. Well, I'm Yoey. I'm the half-elf ranger. Well, I mean, I work for rangers. Technically, I'm a fighter, but don't tell them that. And they keep telling me like I need to wear big, heavy armor, but I just prefer this, light traveler's clothes because like armor's tacky.
I agree.
Besides, you don't need armor when you can shoot them like 1,000 yards away with your bow.
I use spells. You know, stuff.
Well, see, like a bow is like a spell, but it's real.
I can't use bows. Spells are just easier.
Maybe if you ate real food.
No, I'm eating my food. My food is delicious.
And this is why like it sucks being the junior ranger because you get these assignments.
And on that note, peeking out from behind one of the raggedy tents in the courtyard, a halfling with short spiked black hair with little widow's peak, wearing tiny pair of circular glasses. He steps out with rolled up white sleeves, wearing a orange vest, carrying a tarnished silver platter filled with bowls of what looks to be still warm soup, breads, and some pieces of cheese. Seeing you at the gates, he rushes to quickly finish handing out the food to the hungry dwellers around the camp. Yes. Hi. I am Hazelnut. I'll be with you. You can just call me Hazel. Most do, anyway. Yes. And he's kind of like brushing himself up as he walks up to the gate. Yeah. So, how can I help you? What brings you here?
Like Hazel, I was told you have work for like talented people.
I'm here to do stuff. I like doing stuff. I like it. I like it a lot.
You mean the flyers? They really worked? Splendid! Most splendid! And he starts fumbling with some keys, trying to open the gate, and with kind of a long screech, they open up. Yes, come, right this way. And he starts walking with some visual pep in his step. As this now very excited halfling leads you along a cobblestone pathway to the main faded white brick mansion. Goldie! We have recruits for the crew!
Yeah. I think I got away with a 15% increase.
Crew?
Like you read the pamphlet, didn't you? You
Tasted
can read,
like
can't you?
it tasted like dreams and paint.
I don't know if I should be impressed or not.
But I'm here and I'm doing some things with you, I think.
Like, don't say it like that ever again, please.
Why not? It's the truth.
I have like a reputation.
Yes, and being associated with me can only help.
Like, sigh.
Well, as you both make your way up the path, having your conversation, the small halfling pushes these heavy pairs of wooden doors with these large brass knockers that are each shaped like a bull's head with the ring piercing the nose. As the doors give way to the interior, you can see in what was once an impressive foyer with a winding staircase that has pretty much been gutted. The floor is littered with children's toys, and there's a little red ball that seems to be bouncing rapidly towards the front door as a group of children chase after it, filling the room with their laughter. However, not far behind, making its way across the foyer, each step shaking the nearby window panes, is a massive figure with olive skin, a head full of golden hair slicked back to the shoulders, wearing a tan suit with two sheathed swords that, to this behemoth, look more like daggers. With tattooed hands, the giant figure approaches you all. You supposed to be the new crew, huh? I don't know, boss. They don't seem very tough.
Hey, Bandersnatch, do you think he's talking about us? Because I'm super
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah, I think so. You don't look so tough either.
That's funny, little one. But jokes are not going to save you.
Are all I've got.
Hey, Goldie. Let's go to the sandbox. Then they can show you how tough they really are. So, walking through the manor, as they lead you to this quote-unquote sandbox, you see many of the common folk helping each other, supporting one another in its own little community. Men and women of all ages help where they can, fixing things and each other as best they can. You but have a moment to this perspective on the manor as you are taken down a flight of steps to a basement cellar that once must have seen hundreds of casks of various spirits at one point. Now, however, has been repurposed as some sort of a training room. Various straw dummies and archery targets line the walls, and in the center, a great circular sand sparring area. Alright, you two. If you want to join the crew and get paid to save lives and do the right things and get more pay and repeat, you got to prove yourselves. So, here's how it works. Since there's only two of you, you two are going to square off. We're going to see just how tough you are. We're going to evaluate your performance. Now.
Oh, how many people are around us?
You, so basically it's you two plus Goldie and Hazel. So it's just you four
right.
in the basement. Now, they are not fighting. They are, in fact, Hazel sits on an oversized chair, one that looks like it was made for a giant. Goldie, however, looks at Hazel, who's sitting in clearly a chair meant for him, and lets out this long sigh as he is then left with a much smaller stool to sit upon.
I'm fascinating them with my performance.
Okay.
Now that I'm an expert in performance, I can fascinate 4 people. So I start looking curious, and then I step forward and bump into something and look around, and I start doing the box thing as the mime, and then I find a hatch and I go opening and closing it, and he said he wanted to see our performance. So let's see if I can fascinate these fuckers.
Are you also targeting your comrade or just those two?
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
not paying attention. She's like, "Do you want me to shoot him, or what's going on?"
Well, so what is your will DC for this? Since Comey's going to have to try to succeed against this, since he is also she's also going to be a target of the performance.
When you perform, compare your result to the will DC of one observer, or in this case 4. So it's not my will DC; it's theirs. I have to roll performance. At least that's how I'm reading it. I put the feat in the in the roll 20.
Okay, so let me pull up.
Am I wrong?
Character. No, I'm just trying to see because there's somebody else here that's not an NPC that's being targeted by this.
Oh,
Because you said you're targeting everybody.
except for me.
Right. So there's 3 targets. 2 of them are NPCs,
Yeah.
and there's 1 PC.
Oh
target.
yeah, yoy.
10 plus your save throw is your target DC.
I got an 18.
Well, so I believe yours is 17.
I'm trying to see if I've got anything else that can give me that +1. I don't think I do.
Okay, so everybody but Goldie and yourself, Bandersnatch, obviously, seem to be fascinated by the performance.
And I'll just keep it going for the 1 round. I have to continue rolling if I go that, but I'll move across to my area,
Well, I'm pulling up a map.
breaking
here.
out of the box.
Oh, this is amazing. And I start notching an arrow.
Okay, so
I wonder if he explodes candy when I shoot him.
where are your tokens at? I think you're on the other map here. Was Bubbles your familiar? Or not familiar,
Bubbles
but
is my
companion?
Bubbles, my cute little kitty. Who's a go kitty?
Here you are. Where's Bubbles now?
I presume following me.
Okay.
Because he's a good little kitty.
Okay. And where's the reveal? Okay, I think this has already been revealed. Now, do keep in mind that your characters do have 1 hero point at the start of the session. So you can earn more as we play. And Bandersnatch, you should be fully healed. So you may want to update that on your sheet.
Let's see. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can take a handicap in this fight if you really,
No.
really want.
No, the way Anthony makes characters, he's about to wipe the floor with me.
Well, we will see. So let's have you both roll initiative. And we'll go from there.
Well, I'm not stealthing into this one, so let's swap back over to perception.
Wait, I'm... Oh, okay. Oh, shit. I'm facing two of them.
Yep, you're facing me, Michael Widow Katie.
You're throwing a primary caster into a fist fight with a fighter at level 3. This isn't gonna go well.
You never know. You never know.
Sure. Okay.
It's okay. I do thief stuff. I take your life.
Your HP or your GP. That's... Why am I seeing
So are we
Bandersnatch?
expected to go hog wild here?
You go however you want to go here.
No, I'm asking him. Do they want us to do that? Do I get that impression?
They want you to fight. It doesn't seem like they want you to like kill each other, but they want to just kind of, see your abilities. They are testing your abilities. And my God, is Bandersnatch going first? Okay. So order here. All right, let's change that up here. Let's do it this way. There we go. Gotta get some fight music for this. All right, so Bandersnatch. Having fascinated.
Oh, Oakley dokley.
You have my attention.
Indeed.
Yeah. Let me check some ranges here.
Though to be fair, I think he had your attention at eating garbage.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so let's go with the second level spell. I gain 10 temporary hit points.
Okay. What was that 2 actions? Somatic verbal.
Oh, it doesn't say.
Usually,
I assume yes.
Usually, it's how many components. Usually, I can just verify that, just to make sure you still have.
I have the
Yep.
book open.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2.
Just 2. Okay.
Do I have anything else that takes 1 action?
In fact, let me mark these. Fascinate. We're gonna say. There.
The fucking sheet doesn't tell me
What are you looking for?
what the actions on the sheet. It doesn't tell me how many actions it takes on the sheet.
You might have to include it in like the notes.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb with most of the magics is if whatever components they have is each a quote-unquote an action. So if it's just verbal, it's 1 action usually. If it's like verbal, somatic, etc., it's usually 2 or more.
Oh fuck it! I'll just move. I'll just move over here to get out of the corner.
Alright, let me... check. False Life is 2 actions, so you'd have cast that and you can move.
Yeah, so I'm done.
Okay. Alright. With Bandersnatch casting his life-enhancing magic. You see him almost encase himself in this brief glow of purplish arcane energy as he begins tracing the perimeter of the sand arena.
Super evil. False life is necromancy.
That's the purple.
Yep.
Anyway, Yoy.
I'm going to take an action. Get him, Bubbles!
Now, remember, you are still fascinated this round.
Yep, -2 perception and skill checks.
Yep.
So, first action, yell, Bubbles, get him. So, Bubbles now gets 2 actions, which he needs both of to get over.
So striding, using the stride action to move over there.
Yep,
Now you have 3. Well,
I now have 2, which means Bandersnatch, you got 2 arrows coming towards you.
Oh, fuck, okay.
this is where he shoots Bubbles, killing Bubbles, making him look like she's look like she's helping you.
Nat 1!
Awesome. So you fire, and as you fire, the arrow not only misses Bandersnatch, maybe it's his height, maybe you're just nervous for the tryouts, but the arrow goes wide. It hits this dummy that's holding like this little wooden sword and this metal shield, has this little thug helmet on, bounces off the thug helmet, arcs, and goes right into the back of the chair that Hazel's sitting in. Just well, and they're both him and Goldie just kind of look at the back of the chair like, the hell?
Like, that was a warning shot. The next one's coming right at you, Bandersnatch.
I expect to be a support character.
-5 to that, but I'm pretty sure 25 is going to hit.
Jesus Christ, you get 2 shots?
You have 3 actions. I used 1 to order Bubbles, a second for an attack, and the third for another attack.
Okay, now your other attack is going to have that penalty.
That does hit.
Yep, 25.
All right. So, arrow
My
flies
temporary
true.
hit points takes it. It gave me 10.
All right. The purplish glow is fading a bit, but it's still there.
Oh,
That's
God.
it for me.
All right. So, as that round ends, so does the fascination effect, and it becomes Bandersnatch's turn.
Bandersnatch will start running, screaming as he does so. I'm not equipped to deal with this.
Give me your candy.
And that... Oh, shit. I don't have anything that works at that range. I don't think. What does this do again? I'm 5 feet away. This is ridiculous.
You realize all your spells require you to be really close to your targets.
That's why I'm beefy. What is the range on this? Oh, it's one action. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna use my second action to move forward.
Okay, so you take the stride action again.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna use my last action to sing out a very harsh, off-key, discordant note near Yui.
Goblin song.
All right, so performance. Fuck.
Like that's painful, little do, but like it not painful.
Well, that's my whole turn.
So, you try to sing. Do you have any particular goblin song that you try to sing?
Well, it was a single discordant note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hazel's gonna shout out, I think he likes you!
Oh god.
I think I'm like gonna stop him from doing that again. Bubbles, get over here. Spend an action, and Bubbles is going to use yet again both his move to get over as he sprints back across.
The big kitty's trying to play with the goblin.
I'll take a stride action, get up to you. And she's going to wind her foot back. And then go for the moon.
She's gonna punt a goblin football.
Yes.
Because they do have football-shaped heads.
That hits.
3 points of non-lethal damage as she attempts to join.
You can't. Ooh. Okay.
That takes out my temporary, right?
Yes, that would go against your temporary. So I think that's all your temporary.
Yes, that is all my temporary.
So as you connect with the groin, the last bit of purple arcane energy just kind of sparks, almost like a mini firework from the groin as it fades away.
Oh, no candy fell out. Worst clown ever.
The candy's still in there. It's still there.
I want candy. And that's it for me.
Okay. As the now achy Bandersnatch.
He'll flit around Bubbles.
I react.
You what?
Reaction.
I'm going to use my reaction. Because now that his butt is turned to me, I'm going to kick again.
This is ridiculous.
But they're very accurate kicks. I like that first arrow.
Wait,
Okay.
what is your AC?
It's a 17.
I came close to critting, but you got away.
Don't you have to roll a 20 to crit?
You have to roll
Not-
10 over. You'd have to get a you'd have to get a 27 for the crit, or a nat 20.
Well, right in the same spot.
His taint is going to be so bruised in the morning.
It's a
Please tell me it comes out of the
15-foot
back of his
cone.
pants. Please tell me it comes out of the back of his pants.
No.
Okay, so
Let me check real quick to see what the cat
The,
save is.
He spreads his arms wide, and a spinning cavalcade of horses on a carousel just starts spinning around Yoi and Bubbles like they're at an EDM concert with too many strobe lights.
so Daft Punk basically.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so apparently Bubbles and Yoi both have the same save, even though they have different numbers. So I'm just going to roll 2 wills. First is for me, second's for Bubbles.
Okay.
Bubbles is still in it.
Bubbles is
It's a
in it to win it.
19 DC.
Yeah,
So, what is that?
Yoi failed it.
I am
Stunned, blinded, stunned 1, blinded for 1 round, and dazzled for a minute.
That's on a. Yeah, that's right. Let's look at the other one.
And Bubbles is dazzled for 1 round.
all right. So stunned 1. I lose 1 action.
So dazzled, Bandersnatch is considered concealed from both of you.
Checking to see what that requires. Must succeed on a DC 5 flat check when targeting it.
Yep. So in flat checks is just a d20. There's no other bonuses or penalties added to it. It's just straight up d20 roll. Now, for the blinded though, you can't see at all. All the terrain is difficult, meaning it costs 5 extra feet of movement per square. You can't really detect anything if you use your vision. You're going to automatically critically fail perception checks that require you to see. Let's see. Vision is your only precise sense. You take minus 4 status penalty perception checks. Okay. You're not immune to that. And you are also stunned. You can't act. Stun value is basically how many indicates how many actions you lose. Each time you gain actions, you reduce the number of your stun value. So, all right.
So I've got 2 actions this turn. I can't see. Bubbles can smell him.
Yeah, if the stun has a duration, you lose all your actions for the listed duration, though. And that one is just stun 1, so you have 2 actions instead of 1.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to blindly shoot an arrow. All right, so I beat concealed.
For fuck's sake. Do you get any penalties on your attack for the stuff I did?
Well, in terms of the two hits with that, no. It makes it harder for...
Fucking Christ.
Well, that's why I had to beat the concealed check.
Yep. Which he did with a 17.
Alright, so 6 damage.
Yes. Ironically, this time the crit actually is the double value. Just a reminder, though, whatever the damage, the first value is what we normally would just double. Because the crit, it re-rolls the crit damage dice. But in this case, it actually is the doubled amount. That was something that we mentioned for the first time we did this, because we noticed that it was doing separate damage pulls.
And I need to figure out if scent allows, because scent imprecise 30 feet, so I need to figure out what that means real fast.
Well, in terms of the dazzled, it's not going to really go past that. It's if it was like if Bubbles was blinded, that would help Bubbles on that. But Bubbles isn't blinded; it's just dazzled.
If vision is your only precise sense, okay, so since it's imprecise, it's still concealed from Bubbles. So I will take one action, my last one, to yell Bubbles attack. And Bubbles will make 2 claw attacks. As I try to find that sheet again. Sorry, I accidentally closed the page and I don't remember which one it was on. $217.
It's all right.
Okay. Train all unarmed attacks. And these are just to see if he can make contact. Both do. Let's see if he can actually hit.
Yeah, it was both the flat checks. All right, both will connect. There's the leopard's claws. Wow. Comes out, followed by another. Wow.
Eight total damage. As Bubble is batting him, trying to obey his master's order to get the candy out.
Oh, there's candy falling out, but it's red and it's liquid.
It's
That's like
basically
the
catnip.
worst candy. And that's it for me.
All right. We go to Bandersnatch. So he's bleeding on the sand. Leopard yowl.
I pull out an oil flask. And then cast telekinetic projectile at Yoy.
It's
Oh, this is gonna
catapulting.
hurt.
I love it.
What's that sound? Boom.
I kind
I
of.
probably don't hit your AC.
14 does not hit.
Alright, commence the slaughter. I'm done.
All right, so this little vial of oil comes flying at you. You manage to duck your head at the last moment as it flies past you, shattering on a poor, defenseless straw dummy.
Bubbles, we can't play eat the toy right now. Alrighty, Bubbles will take, I'll order Bubbles again. And he will use his support action.
Yeah, Bubbles is no longer dazzled.
But Yoy is.
Yoy is, but Yoy's no longer stunned either. So Yoy would still have to make the flat check, but Bubbles would not.
So Bubbles is just kind of weaving around Bandersnatch's legs, which I imagine is just like kind of crawling on the ground, weaving, getting underfoot, throwing him off balance. And he'll take a bite action.
Oh. Oh, no. Okay, that was shame. It's a great flat check, though.
Eight damage from Bubbles. I assume at this point, as the cat is just latching on to Bandersnatch, are they going to order us?
Not yet. They're still watching. In fact, you see
Do it.
Hazel.
Do it.
Hazel, you see, is looks like he's munching on some like trail mix or peanuts, and Goldie's just kind of looking real intent at how you both are interacting with each other.
Right,
Also looks
well,
very uncomfortable on that tiny stool.
Well,
Do it. He's an assassin.
A more good character than Yoey would spend the rest of the turn asking, like, should I stop now? But I'm being paid. I'm sorry. I'll take the flat check on the first shot. Arrow goes zipping away. Don't even see it. Why are there like three of you? I got that one. I'll get the second one this time.
She gonna try to shoot the one in the middle now?
Yep. That wasn't the real one either. That's it for me.
Bandersnatch is still in it to win it.
No, I'm not. Let's see. I'm gonna cast Soothe at second level. I have it as one of my heightenable spells. So I heal by 2d10 plus 8. Great.
Oh, I mean, it's not bad.
That's a fair bit of HP.
And I'm going to use my action to sing another discordant note. That is Goblin Song.
This goblin is turned into Skid Row.
And I fail again. What did you? What? It's your turn.
It's getting slightly more annoying with each performance. You're not sure how much longer you can hold out, Yoi.
Stop it. Bubbles, make him stop. Bubbles is going to use the support action again and then try to bite on the banner.
Oh shit! Hang on. I'm supposed to be targeting 2 people with Goblin Song. So does 16 hit Bubbles? Will DC?
They both have 17.
Okay, never mind.
Bubbles doesn't land the bite. And I'm going to keep shooting. Well, that
Bubbles tries to bite into Bandersnatch's glutes, but they are clinched tighter than steel as he leaps out the way.
2 hull damage with that first shot, but you're now flat-footed because of Bubbles' weak.
Okay.
So just a flesh wound.
That crits. What the fuck?
Now, that's only 4 damage for the crit, though.
Oh, okay.
One, I just realized though, it's a deadly 10.
That is true.
It's a 9 damage crit.
What is a deadly 10?
It rolls a deadly D10, so on a crit, it's an extra D10 damage.
Yep. I ignore volley 30 because I have point blank shot.
All right.
I see Yoi was inspired by Elodia.
You know, bows are a fun weapon.
Even better when you can channel smite through them.
I think the only one who can do that's Warlock. A Blade Lock, Eldritch Smite. Yeah. Either way, that's it for me.
All right. So, grazed you on one shot, but then as you're moving out of that way, kind of careens you into the second shot, hitting you right in the ribs. Bandersnatch. It's your turn.
Goblin Song. Both of you.
Come on, you do this. Channel your inner man of war.
That's better.
Almost a crit.
Stop it. Okay, like stop.
-1 to perception and will saves. So then once again, I am going to spread out my arms and bring forth the carousel of doom.
The calliope of colors.
Oh no.
At -1 to both of you.
I don't know if you could. No, I'm just dazzled, not blinded. All right. -1 to both of these. That -1 brought me down. But Bubbles is still in it.
God damn it.
Slowly
my
coming
eyes,
together.
My ears, like stop.
That's it. That's the reactions.
All right, well, stunned and blinded again, and your dazzled is now continued for a bit longer.
Blinded by the light.
See, this is the exact position that my character is the worst in. This is the worst my character can possibly do in this situation.
But look how long you survived.
I'm not made. I can kind of tank stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I need like one other person on my team. I just can't do anything without another person.
Yeah, there was supposed to be
Bubbles,
4 of
eat 'em.
you in here, but
Eat him, Bubbles. Oh, Bubbles landing 2 noms. Ten damage. And Yoi is going to stumble towards him. And that's all I have since I am stunned 1.
okay. So, at the end of that round, you see Goldie just kind of stand up. All right. We've seen enough.
I can't see enough. I'm blind.
And Hazel is going to jump out of the big chair and run over to Yoi and, oh, here, let me help. And he starts like fumbling around and grabs a vial of something and starts to try to like pour it in Yoi's eyes. And it burns slightly.
No, the acid.
Well, not really acid, but it definitely has a an odor to it. And you realize that this wasn't the potion he was looking for. In fact, it smells a lot like cat pee.
It's like that one party all over again. Bubbles, why did you betray me?
Oh, sorry. Wrong vial. Where is it? Let's see. Elephant excrement. No. Here we go. Yes, this is it. And he actually takes a vial that's got clear fluid in it and pours it on poor Yoi. And it helps a little bit. It does clear out some of the effects from Bandersnatch's singing, and he also digs in for another vial. This one actually smells like candy, and he gives it to Bandersnatch to drink.
That doesn't look like garbage, and he pokes himself and casts Soothe at first level using his last spell.
Well, alrighty then.
For a not too bad amount for a first level spell.
Well, Goldie, what'd you think? I mean, I saw a lot of pretty colors and some really fanciful singing and a lot of shouting and more.
This is not what I'm good at.
Well, little one took more punishment than thought he could take. As for the other one, well, looks like she can dish out some punishment. We'll have to see if she can take as good as she gives. But right now, y'all have fought enough. Let's get you upstairs and we'll talk more in the morning about the crew right now. Y'all get some rest, get some food. Definitely earned it, and I can say that you piqued my interest. And he just kind of gets up and with those loud, thunderous footfalls just makes his way up those steps back into the upper floor of the manor, where you can see the boards kind of creak and little bits of dust shake with each step as he walks off. All right, well, yes, follow me and I'll show you to the room where you can rest in, and we'll get some food sent up to you, and just let me know if you need anything else. And
Send the whole trash can.
trash can. Okay.
You
Sure.
heard me.
All right. A whole trash can. Well,
For him alone, like, please not me. I'm just blinded for like ever now. My eyes, darkness takes them all.
well, he leads you up, back through the manor, back through the foyer, up the stairs to the hallway that's at the top, and kind of going off to the side. He opens a door to a room that's been gutted essentially, and there's several little cots and little sleeping bags along the floor. Well, take any unoccupied bed, rest up, and we'll get you some food sent up here, and the trash cans, whole trash can.
Yes.
All right, let me know if you need anything else.
My face hurts. And my nuts, they hurt too.
And you've been bit all over by bubbles.
It's
I'm
fine.
bleeding all over your beds.
At least you're not blinded forever. My eyes, I just see darkness.
That should only last for like a minute at the most.
She's got her eyes closed. It's just this I can't see.
Just open. You can open your eyes.
I can't if I ah.
And these are the heroes, boys and girls. These are our heroes.
I never claimed to be a hero.
So, fair enough, but eventually food and trash is brought up to you, and the afternoon turns to evening, and as such, many of the men and women around the manor are turning in, finishing hard day's work. The beds are actually much more comfortable than they appear to be. While not the most fanciful things, they serve their purpose, letting you rest up and fully recuperate. And it is then, as you've been drifting off to sleep, that the smells of almost like a smoky barbecue begin to fill your nose. As your eyes gently open, you can see out the window that the sun is just starting to peek over the distant horizon.
Oh, is it a new day now?
It is a new day. But that smell of barbecue is not exactly what you thought it was. In fact, it's not really that of meat, but more of the smoky, the burning wood smell. A bit too much burning wood smell, as you realize the smell only seems to get stronger as the wind picks up.
Smells like a bar fight.
I don't want to burn down the woods again. It was an accident.
Yoy! Yoy, wake up.
What?
I throw a gold piece at her.
All right. Yeah, you paid for my awakeness. Like, what's up? I mean, like, I haven't done a
You,
goblin, but
do you smell that?
that's like wood burn. I'm gonna go to the window.
Okay. So, let's see here. All right, and as you go to the window, let me make this little check for you here. Love these secret checks. They're amazing. Yoy, looking about as you peek out the window, just kind of looking at the manor, the immediate grounds, maybe, the little tent city where they had all the fire pits. At a glance, you don't see any evidence that the manor is on fire, or as you're glancing over the grounds, you don't see any fires from the Swift-Toes estate. But as your head careens up, you see, further down in the streets of Peacock, below many of the homes and businesses are ablaze. In the harbor, you see a ship with many jagged, protruding bits of wood and steel, almost as if it was constructed piecemeal from other ships. Riding high, you can see what looks to be a Jolly Roger flag raised. The flag of pirates. You can hear distant screams, Yoy, from the streets below. And squinting through the bits of the blaze that are lighting the streets, you also manage to see a few simple folk running for their lives. Behind them are small green creatures, not unlike Bandersnatch. One appears to have a dagger in its mouth as it chases a young woman, nipping at the hem of her dress.
How far away are they?
They are several blocks away. In terms of feet, this would be probably about 4 to 450 feet.
All right, let me just do
What do
a
you
quick
see?
calculation.
Now, there's that one, and there's another one that looks like it has trapped a shaggy-looking brown dog in a rubbish barrel, turned the barrel on its side, and has kicked it, sending it rolling down a bumpy street as the green
I can't see
creature
over the windowsill.
cackles loudly.
Doggy.
Dog?
So about 400 or 500 feet.
About 450.
Alrighty, I'm taking a
Very penalty shot.
-8 to this shot.
I'll give you Inspire Courage.
What's it give me?
+1 to attack and damage, and saves against fear effects.
Oh,
You can do it. Tell me what's going on. Save the doggy. You can do it.
All right, so that's a 20 at this range, 21 at this range for 4 damage.
Okay.
Like cities.
So it does hit. So as the goblin is cackling loudly, this arrow goes right into this left butt cheek, and it's just, and you hear other goblins laughing at it. Not in your view, but you can hear them just cackling at the one that just got shot in the ass.
You want to go fuck him up?
Like they can like damage the town if they want, but they're not hurting like cute animals. Let's
Let's go
fuck
fuck
'em
them up. Yeah.
And Bandersnatch, that one also kicked over that rubbish barrel, which is spilling trash all over the place. Good trash.
My trash. Now I'm gonna while we're going, I'm gonna cast false life on myself.
Okay.
It lasts 8 hours, so.
Oh no, that.
Are we fully healed?
Yes. And you still have your hero point as well.
Yes.
When we get close to the street, I will say we should, stealth a little bit more onto them so we don't charge right into a big group.
Let's do it.
So, as you're leaving the grounds, you see Hazelnut, who's kind of running in his what looks to be leopard print PJs. Crew! Peacock's under attack! You have to go help! It's our time to shine! And you see him still in his PJs, putting on a little polished round metal helmet and this suit of like branded mail that's not quite his size. It's a bit large. And he carries a spear and he stands by the gates to the estate. I'll keep the guard here. Make sure nobody gets in and hurts all these people. You! Go out there and stop them before they hurt any more people. And you can see that Hazel, that in his PJs, it is confirmed that the butt flap is down. He is too excited to notice.
Let's ignore that and get going.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Fuck him up.
All right.
We gotta go avenge Doggy.
Let me know before you fire.
So
I'll help you out.
Let's go sneak up on some goblins.
Pick up on goblins.
let me let's see. Are you actually going to sneak?
Yes, I think so.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me pull up your sheets here because it's going to be
Right.
amazing.
So I have the feat Quiet Allies. So since I'm an expert, he can follow me and we just roll with the lowest persons. And a +5 since I'm assisting.
Okay.
So the +5 to this roll. 25.
Okay, I'm pretty sure stealth is a secret check.
I didn't know that. It's a total plus 11.
All right. Give me one moment here. Clear both of you out of the initiative here if you'll ever let me. +11.
I really think me and Yoy would work really good together in a team.
Oh, that is no doubt. In fact, we're going to see that team in action right now as I reveal.
This will be a lot more fun than just getting the shit kicked out of me.
Again, I was expecting more people. We had
Yeah.
we had a much bigger interest group than what actually kind of showed up. So
Yeah.
it's all right. Now, as for this map that's being revealed here, there's actually another row of map down below. It just wouldn't add on here, so the bottom row is not black. So just the FYI on that. I don't know why it didn't quite show. So anyway, I'll have you all go ahead and put your tokens anywhere in this town square here. Should see it right to the right of the fighting pits. I'm going to show it for the anybody watching here. So we record this.
Do we want to come in the bottom left corner?
I'm not on the... Oh, okay. I thought we were going to a different page.
No, I kept it on one just to keep it from loading and things like that.
I don't. Oh, wait. I'm stupid. Bandersnatch is following you.
Okay.
All right. So as you're running through the streets, you hear what sounds to be the sounds of many feet, but also of wheels and metal screeching. Coming about the corner here, you see what is making that noise. Before you, moving through the streets. And Bandersnatch, you have heard about this for. With your recalled knowledge of your goblin peoples and some of their war parties,
The fuck biscuits?
this is a goblin war machine.
That's not great.
Now, you see a goblin at the helm, and you see several goblins in the rear of it, behind sheets of metal with little armored boots, as they seem to be the foot power of this. There's a large skulled contraption at the front, which looks like it has hinges, like it could open and close, and there's various spears and chains and hooks at the front of it. I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Well, since we are stealth, I'm going to use stealth.
Wait, you can do that?
Yes. You can use...
Well, my initiative is better than my stealth, so.
Alright.
I didn't click him. Let me fix that.
Okay. There we go. Perfect. Wait, why is that? Sending. Alright. So, Yoy, what would you like to do?
I'm going to take an action and whistle the bubbles, and he's going to...
That is a little street lamp, but that is hanging by the building there.
And he is... going to stay there. I wish there was a dodge action. He will step behind. That's all he can do. From here, can I see the goblin on top?
You can. He does have a little bit of cover from the contraptions, from the control mechanisms that he's standing behind. So he will have a +2 bonus to his armor class.
That works for me. Because he doesn't see this one coming right at his face.
All Alright, well, that will hit. It is not a critical hit, though.
4 damage.
Okay. So as you strike him, the arrow flies out and hits him in his left shoulder, just kind of clips a bit of it. Ah, sneaky, sneaky you be, but char and ash you shall soon be.
Like something, composite longbow shot. Well.
That's not gonna hit. So it just kind of hits the front of the war machine, hits the wood, and just.
That sounds like so much better in my head. You can do something now, right, Banders? Your turn.
Bandersnatch snaps his fingers and then runs one of them along Yoi's crossbow. Becomes a +1 striking weapon, and which means it's a +1 item bonus to attacks, and the damage dice increased to 2.
I like the attack. This hurts me more than you would notice. That her bow's magic.
God fucking damn it!
You can put it on the kukri though.
How did you get a magic weapon?
+1 is only 30 gold.
Can I not do that?
For this, yeah, we'll retcon it because you, as the player, you weren't aware of that. But we'll say during the evening, she was telling you about all her magical bow. She was very proud of it.
You notice the glimmer.
All right, I'm gonna take off running 10, 30. I'm going to use a cantrip, one of my focus cantrips. And both Bubbles and Yoi get +1 to attack rolls, damage, and saves against sphere effects. And then I'm going to use my another stride action to hide behind Bubbles.
Operation Leopard Shield. All right. All right, and that ends Bandersnatch's turn.
It does. It does.
Now, the war machine. Charge! And you hear all the skittering of goblin feet, the cranking of chains, and the sounds of the wooden wheels moving over the cobblestone. So it is, let's see.
Can't believe you didn't say anything when I told you I picked magic weapon.
Well, I figured there were other weapons you're going to be able to put it on.
You know what?
That's fair.
All right. So it gets out to about here. Actually, yeah. So it goes here, and as it does so, you see that large skull on the front of it open up, and inside that skull you can see several weird-looking barrels and canisters, and one of them starts to turn kind of like a little pin dot of yellow, and then starts to get wider and bigger as it's yellow and orange. And you start to feel the heat from it as this cone of fire launches from it. So, let's see. And I'm going to need you to make a reflex save, please.
27.
All right. Well, that is a well, that is a critical success on the save. So not going to be taking any fire damage.
She just kind of steps a little bit to the side as it just whooshes down the street.
And it used all its actions here with that and the movement. How are you not on fire? You're supposed to be burning! No fair! You burn now!
I'm like an elf. We're like not supposed to burn.
Well, since you're in that burning ring of fire, what would you like to do, Jan?
So that barrel and that rooftop, how high up is the roof?
The ledge of the roof is about, we'll say, 20 feet from the ground. The barrel will get you up about 5 feet off the ground.
Right. No way I'm jumping 15 feet up. Unfortunate.
Now, if you get to that light, you can climb up, shimmy up that. But you might have to go through a war machine for that. Or run really far away.
Bandersnatch, you're gonna do like the color thing, right?
Maybe.
Hmm. You know what? Bubbles is willing to risk it. I'm gonna yell for Bubbles to go on the attack.
Okay.
He's gonna shimmy over here. And then he's gonna start nibbling on that one goblin.
Well, he's nipping at the booted legs because they're behind little sheets of metal. So it's almost like a farm animal trailer. Like it's got those long sheets of metal with just like little tiny bits where they can kind of see out of.
Oh my gosh! I'm just suddenly picturing my freaking Celica's kitten when I close the door and I just see its paw just kind of wailing underneath as it bangs in.
That's pretty much what he's doing right now. Just
Well, he is going to make a claw attack then to see if he can reach his target.
all right. Well, that will hit.
Four damage as he's batting at the goblin, trying to see what he can get.
All right. Well, he is clawing at it. You hear some of the goblins. "Ah, big claw, big claw!"
So right, like that last shot was like a warning shot, and I'm going to double move because this looks like that thing's going to have a really hard time turning, and I think it's going to be coming after me. All right, that is, yeah, that is my 50 feet of movement.
Bandersnatch. You see the
Okay,
poor goblin feet.
my question is, these goblins are on really wonky. Like, what tiles are they in?
So they are the tiles right at the edge of the alley. So they're 3 tiles wide.
I have to aim a 15-foot cone.
As long as you connect with it, you're gonna hit it. They count as one unit here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're all part of the war machine.
Well, then I'll run over here and color spray. I'll drop that carousel of madness on them.
All right. Well, they fail, but it's not a critical failure. So,
That works.
stunned, blinded, and dazzled. And the dazzle is 1 minute. Ah, my eyes! Turn off the light! Alright, does Bandersnatch do anything else?
No. No, I moved and then that was 2 actions.
Alright, well, all these goblins are, like some of them are rubbing their eyes and kind of pointing around. Alright, so -1 action and blinded, so it's going to be more difficult terrain. He kind of bumps into a wall here. Turn, you idiots! Turn! That is all it can do because it is stunned and blinded, and everything costs too much movement. Yoy! See a bunch of goblins rubbing their eyes. Looks like they're drunk because they just bumped into another building and smashed in some of the wall, and they clumsily turn it, scraping the other building in this alley.
So I'm going to be shooting on the run then.
Oh, 30. Oh my god. Okay, well that's gonna be a crit, so it's gonna be 10 piercing plus your d10, so it's 12. This one hits the goblin at the controls, going like right through part of the chest. Ah! Stop shooting me!
Bandersnatch! Help! And I'm going to double move so I don't get ran over.
Okay. Bandersnatch.
I'm gonna look at Bubbles, and look at the thing, and look at Bubbles, and look at the thing.
Wow.
Uh, I'll put my hands out and make like I'm doing the thriller movements, and then I'll raise my hand and swirl it in the air while yelling like a maniac.
Let's see. That's going to be... Oh. Well, that is a failure, but not a crit fail.
Nothing happens on a crit fail.
No, it does.
Yeah, the target's sickened too. On a crit fail.
Oh, I missed that. I'm still getting used to the format.
Okay, target's full initial and persistent damage and sickened 1. Let's say status penalties, NTCs, some more
4
debuff.
damage. When does the persistent mental damage take effect?
I think it's on their turn.
Yeah, and they can also try to get rid of the sickened as well by basically puking up what's causing them to be sick. But that basically is going to eat up a lot of actions. Okay, so
You take persistent damage at the end of each of your turns as long as you have the condition. Rolling a dice anew every time. If you take persistent damage, roll a DC 15 flat check to see if you recover.
Oh, okay. So it took the 4 damage initial, right?
yeah, I just applied that.
Okay, then my turn is done.
All right, so let's see. All right. Try to get rid of the second here. Does not go well for that. Does not beat that, so it is still sickened. 1 for this turn. Alright, I need to make a flat check here to see if we can even attack. Alright. You hear, "Let him rip!" And you see a couple of little flaming vials fly over the top of those little walls. And see if they can hit Bandersnatch.
Probably.
One missed, one hit, but not a crit. Not even close.
AC 17, yeah.
Yeah, but you also got him with the dazzled, so
Yep.
Oh,
you got a lot of really bad effects stacking.
Yes, he does.
this is what I'm built to do. I'm a support character, and I love
Bandersnatch.
support characters. Yeah.
You take 4 points of fire damage.
And?
Just 4 points. If it was crit
Oh.
success, you would be taking a lot more.
Okay, I'm still on my temporary hit points.
So, yeah, and the other one missed you, and with that, that's all I can make for that. And it's going to be taking some mental damage, so roll a d4.
2 damage.
2 damage. Okay. And that will end the War Machine's turn here. Alright, Yoi, it has not moved, but you did hear yelling and smashing of glass and what sounded like fire spreading on the other end of that alley.
Right, well, I need to keep their attention on me. So I'm going to go ahead, take an action to step out, take a shot with my bow. That poor war machine.
Roll your d10. That's a crit. That's another 12.
Come on, Dudley, why are we doing that? Just make sure he's in my range.
Oh, yeah. Well, you hit that first square, so definitely under 100 feet. Arrow flies, hits the goblin driver again. He's bleeding profusely from his right arm and shoulder.
I'm going to take the risk and take another shot.
All right.
Ooh, 11.
Not gonna hit. So what happens is it hits again that front end of that war machine, sticking into the wood. In fact, not too far from your first shot that hit the war machine, and arrow just vibrates.
If I put enough shots in that one spot, it'll break. That's it for me.
That is it for you. All right, Bandersnatch.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up the status. What a status does, and I'm having some trouble finding it.
Which status?
Yeah, what status?
Stupefied? Here it is.
Oh, I could tell you. Stupefied.
You can't.
Take a status penalty equal to the value to the checks and DCs based on intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, including will saves, spell attack rolls, and DCs, and appropriate skill checks. If you cast a spell, it is disrupted unless you succeed at a flat DC 5 plus value check.
Probably not useful against the war machine. They didn't move, so I'm gonna goblin song the goblins. And I'm gonna pop my hero point. That lets me roll with advantage, right? Or how exactly does it work?
It's essentially advantage. They call it fortune and misfortune.
So do I roll just twice, or do I?
Yeah.
Is the hero point expended after?
Take the better of the two. With that, now, also
I'll take
if
the
you have
28
one action, and actually if you have one hero point, you can also use that if you are, dying. You can kind of stabilize with that. You can spend all your actions.
I'll take the 28.
Okay, so 28. That is going to be a critical success.
Then they have a -1 penalty to perception and will saves for a minute. Now, I'm gonna take a step forward.
Stop singing! No more nursery rhymes, I mean it!
I'll drop the carousel on them again.
Too bad it's not a real carousel, it's just an illusionary one. And with the penalties, that is going to be a critical failure.
Holy shit. Okay, they're stunned for 1 round and blinded for a minute. And that's all my 3 actions.
Okay. So, turn it around! Run him over!
Uh-oh.
They're just flat out stunned. Not stunned one.
Yeah. So, the goblins, like, you see the cart, like, turn, but then the goblins are just like, move, you idiots! I'm not feeling it move! I'm not hearing bones break!
Are they still sickened?
They are not still sickened.
Okay.
But they have... but they are, dazzled and blinded.
Yo, help!
Like, it was nice knowing you.
But that ends their turn.
Right. Bubbles, execute order 66. And Bubbles is going to take a move action and get out of there.
That's order 66.
I love it. So yeah, the leopard just starts running down the street. Like, it looks like he's charging into battle, and all of a sudden just makes a sharp left turn down the nearest alleyway and gets the hell out of there.
I am going to double move. I'm going to dash. I'm going to stride like my little feet depend on it. Move 1. Move 2. 25 feet is weird.
Feels different,
that's-
doesn't it?
Yeah, I think fleet's gonna be a thing I take. That's it for me.
Bandersnatch.
I pull out. Is pulling out an oil. I have it on bandolier. Is pulling out a flask of oil an action?
Let's see.
They're on my bandolier.
That would be one of your actions.
I thought the point of the bandolier was to make it not an action. Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong.
Let me check the text on the bandolier. Give me a moment. Where is equipment?
Bandolier can be dedicated to a full set of tools, such as healer tools, allowing you to draw the tools as part of the action that requires them. Otherwise, it lets you hold up to 8 items of light bulk within easy reach and is used for alchemical items, potions. If you are carrying or stowing a bandolier rather than wearing it around your chest, it has light bulk instead of negligible.
So I can pull it out as a part of another action? I'm not sure I understand.
So from that, if you're going to drink it or toss it, it'd be in that action.
I'm going to use it with my telekinetic projectile.
Okay. So that'd be with that then.
Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for. God damn it. 14, really?
So it strikes the front of the war machine and breaks, hitting some of that large oaken wood, but does not hit the goblins beyond it.
Fuck! That's my turn.
Alright. So it's no longer stunned, but it is taking massive other penalties. And let's see. It's no longer taking that. So it moves here, and you hear the goblin at the top. I still don't hear any bones crunching. What are you nibwits doing? And it can't see that. Oh God, that is. So you see the war machine launch out one of the spears that it has, and it has this chain hook attached to it, and it launches it down the alley like it's trying to hook. They think you're still in front of it, and it launches out, and then you hear it scrape as it comes back towards the war machine. Damn it! Wait! Do you hear something? And they're kind of craning their heads about, but that ends their turn.
So at the end of the street, taking yet again 2 more stride actions. Why didn't they tell me in Ranger School this was so much running?
She's only good for sprinting.
He says oh, just sit in the tree. Oh, you just shoot from the tree. Okay, I can do this.
That's a hit. It's not a crit, though.
3 damage as I continue trying to fire at the boots or the little bits I can see through the slit.
And that's precisely what you do. The arrow flies through some of the slits. You hear, yeah!
No, poor Bandersnatch. I barely knew him, and he's now dead from being ran. There's not a lot of blood there, is there?
There's fire and stuff there.
He must have exploded. That's how he wanted to go.
Oh my God.
That's it for me.
Bandersnatch.
All right. I'll look around and do a little jig and inspire courage on me and Bubbles. You're too far away, and then I will cast telekinetic projectile. It's a 24. I got the +1. It's a 24.
Yes, and that will hit.
Oh, the oil. Does the oil catch on fire? How do we determine that? I forget.
Should be in the property of the oil. I believe that is... There's a save involved with that. Let me apply this damage real quick.
Gear.
So the oil...
There it is. You must succeed a DC 10 flat check for the oil to ignite successfully. So I roll a d20 and it has to be over 10, right?
Yes.
It's a 17. That deals another 1d6 fire damage, according to the oil entry.
Go ahead and roll it.
Full 6.
War Machine is on fire. Here. Yeah, hot, hot, too hot. Stop laughing, numbskulls.
I'm done.
All right. So, what the machine's going to do here, hearing sounds directly to the right of it, they are going to turn and they are going to try to overrun you.
Oh boy.
Need you to make a reflex saving throw as well as bubbles.
I will note that they still have a bunch of stuff that's happening to them, I think. 27.
Check the bubbles real quick.
And that's a critical success, Spanish Snatch.
Nice.
No, Bubbles.
Oh no.
Poor Bubbles. Bubbles will be taking... Let me just move this here. That's as far as they can go after that because of the effects that somebody keeps putting on them. Bubbles, you are taking 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Wait, what was that noise? Like, no, don't die, Bubbles. They won't, let me have another one of you for, 2 weeks.
A
They
whole
keep
2
me,
weeks.
don't lose.
That's a lot of mourning.
I keep losing pets, and they're getting tired of giving me new ones.
Well, that ends the War Machine's turn.
Right, so... I once again must double stride.
She's got her cardio in for the month.
All right, Bubbles, I'm back. We'll do the maneuver. Unfortunately, I don't have enough actions to do the maneuver, so... I'm just going to shoot it in the back. Or... can I use an action to try to get this lamppost onto the roof?
That is another thing you can try.
I'm going for the lamppost and shimmying up it.
All right, so... would you like to use athletics or acrobatics to shimmy?
I'm like super nimble. I'm like falling on my ass.
Oh
Well,
my
actually, hang
I'm
on.
going to use that hero point. I'll re-roll and I'll take the second one because it can't be worse.
Actually, that would be
That
for
one.
climbing. So it's actually, it would be athletics.
All right, so bye-bye hero point, and now I will re-roll again with athletic.
Like a champ. All right.
I will.
You're 20 feet up, and now you can get to the roof.
Poor Bubbles. He looks so flattened. Poor Bandersnatch.
It ran over
I'm
its tail.
I'm seeing Bandersnatch's ghost too. It's like tragic. How does the afterlife feel?
What?
It's like I can still hear him. That's it for me.
All right, Bandersnatch, you're up. As you see her climb up the lamppost, out of breath, just pulling everything she can to climb up this thing, and is talking to herself on the rooftop, whispering your name.
A Bandersnatch reaches in his pocket and pulls out some string and starts doing stuff with it with his fingers, and then pulls out a cat's cradle and casts Soothe, level 1 on Bubbles. And he will also throw a lasso, swing a lasso, and throw it at the war machine and start trying to pull it back. And it's about courage. I don't know if that hits Yoy, but it will hit Bandersnatch and Bubbles.
60 feet? Oh, yeah, that.
That easily hits.
Oh, I thought it was 30. Okay, good. And it hits Yoy too. That's it. That's what I got.
All right.
See, I do support really well.
Well, you see the goblins in the back start opening up like these little metal panels, and you hear like cans being moved about, and all of a sudden you start seeing this black substance start being poured into the alley. I need Bandersnatch and Bubbles to make reflex saving throws. Or you can no, it'd be just reflex. So Bandersnatch is prone as he
Bubbles,
slipped
why are
in
you doing
on
this to
the
me?
greasy substance. And Bubbles.
Why crit fails?
So if you try to move during the duration of this, which this stuff looks like it's going to last a bit if it doesn't get like washed off, you're going to have to make reflex saving throws or acrobatics checks for balance. Now, if you try to crawl, or just use the step action, the 5-foot movement, that really careful movement only, you don't have to make a check or a save.
It's just standing up, a save.
Standing up is not a save, but if you try to move beyond that stepping, or beyond standing up,
Yeah,
that's not a 5-foot step. Then you would have to save or make the check.
Okay.
So they do that, and let's see. as far as they can go. That ends their turn. Yoy.
Right, so Bubbles needs a... Bubbles, get up! We need to do the thing! And it's too far away for Bubbles to crawl there. I don't think he gets anything. Nope. Bubbles will take an action to stand up and is then going to attempt to run down the alley on the slide.
All right. Well, you can make a reflex or an acrobatics, whichever you prefer.
For him, they are both the same.
Okay. Prone.
Wow.
No, Bubbles, stop it. Stop being cat. Get up.
Looks very annoyed.
No, nap time's later. I'm just going to take 2 shots at this point.
Okay.
So a 22 and a 14. Sorry, a 23 and a 15.
Okay. 15 is not going to hit. But you hit the goblin activating the controls again, this time hitting him in the other arm. Ah! What did I tell you about shooting me? Stop it!
Okay. I'm like going home now.
Finally, someone listens to me.
Here I go. Here's your Bandersnatch.
All right, Bandersnatch.
He uses an action to stand up, and then tries to make like he's putting up one of the invisible walls in front of him and bracing for impact while he does inspire courage and uses a focus point for lingering composition. Why did it not? Why did it not put? Oh, it's. Oh, lingering composition doesn't have a description, but it has different things it does on the successes and stuff. Or does it? God damn it! I'm so unprepared. I'm sorry.
No, it's hard. It happens. Even on professional game streams, they have to stop and look up things from time to time. It's okay. And we are far from a professional stream.
How dare you not have everything memorized for a game that we've played twice?
Dare you not be a paragon of this game that we barely played?
Lingering composition. You add a flourish to your composition, extend its benefits. If your next action is to cast a cantrip composition with a duration of 1 round, attempt a performance check. The DC is usually a standard difficulty DC of a level equal to the highest level target of your composition, but the GM can assign a different DC based on circumstances. The effect depends on the result of your check. So it would be affecting myself, Bubbles, and Yoi.
All right. That's going to be on your next composition.
The Inspire Courage.
Oh, so you're doing the lingering first, then the Inspire.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't realize that the order had to be that way.
All right. No, that's fine.
So let's roll that performance. Nat 1.
So apparently you got some of that oily grease stuff in your mouth, and it's more like peanut butter consistency.
So it's one of those weird. It's one of those things. Failure. The composition lasts 1 round, but you don't spend the focus point for casting the spell.
Okay.
Yeah, you pretty much just lost the action.
Yeah. So I guess since I used an action standing up, that's my turn. You're all still inspire courage though.
He's a brave kitty looking down the oncoming car.
Well, some bad news. Since both the kitty and Bandersnatch are still in the area of the very flammable, oily grease, as this thing's skull opens up and launches a fiery cone, igniting it. Because you're in that area, that is an automatic failure.
Oh.
And both you and the kitty are going to be taking... Ooh. Alright. 12 points of fire damage.
I still have temporary hit points, so those take 6 of it. Okay.
Alright. And it can't overrun you because it doesn't have enough action to do that. So, and that is all it can do right now. Oi! See, the streets are aflame. The lamppost is aflame. Bandersnatch and Bubbles are aflame.
Bubbles, you need to be like 5 feet closer to it. Swear. Just sleeping on the job again.
Its fur's being burnt off. It's writhing around in the flames.
The worst thing is it can't use a support benefit until it's in melee range.
Alright, well, what does Joy want to do?
Well, I guess it's time to just start firing. $18.
Will hit.
Shot 2. 12.
Not quite a hit.
Right. Bubbles, get out of there. Bubbles is going to take an action to stand up. And let's see if he cannot. Well, it's not there anymore, is it? It's now just a fiery torch.
It's just fire. Everything's fire.
Kitty is going zoom zoom. Kitty is zooming at top speed. That's it for me.
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch looks up at Yoy and kind of waves, and then runs down the alleyway.
There it goes.
And then he runs his... He scratches Bubbles behind the ears like, good kitty, and casts Soothe at 2nd level.
The hairless kitty. It's like bright pink burnt flesh on the poor kid.
Wow, 22.
That is a good soothe.
Yes, it is.
He is a much happier kitty.
And that's all I have.
All right. So you hear a cranking, and you see one of those spears start to get angled up towards the roof that you're up on, Yoi. And it is going to fire.
Oh no.
Fire! And
It's fine. They're blinded. They're just going to hit.
I gotta. Yeah, I know. I have to roll the. Okay, made a flat check, but does not hit. So you see the spear like hook through the lower part of the roof behind you, and they yank and pull as the chain gets retracted, and that corner of the roof just snaps off as it gets pulled down the alley through the flames back to the war machine. And then
Oh god.
That's all it can move. All right, Yoi.
Oh, you made a terrible choice, goblins. So I am going to draw out my kukri. I am going to take a move action, and I am going to diving attack this thing.
I'll give you a hero point for that.
I see its weak point, and I'm going for it. They've got Cat's Grace, so I don't care about the fall damage. Yeah. $18.
Well, how do you want to do this?
So there she is. She runs. She jumps off, trying to do one of those diving down slashes. Except she doesn't realize just how rickety this thing is in the back after all the damage to it, and just crashes through, smashing the machine to a pile of.
All right, yeah, it snaps in half. The goblin riding the front part with the back end no longer helping as a counterweight falls on it, crushing it. You just see like a little tiny hand like wiggle for a minute and then stop. The other little goblins are like as you jump down and you slice, the panels come crashing down upon them as well. Two of the little goblins are able to kind of beat feet out of the rubble, just skittering away as fast as they can. The others just not moving underneath the heap.
I'm okay.
Bubbles is okay too.
Oh, thank goodness.
I'm out of spells again.
Well, it's okay, you know. Your memory will live on as you've gone on to the afterlife. Dying in the giant explosion as you got ran over. You will be missed.
What?
Like, oh, here. Let me get up off my feet. Okay, ow. Wreckage, a lot of oil. Oh, okay. Like, you were ran over, right? And you, like, died in a giant fire blast. This is the afterlife.
Then why are they still here?
Like the last vestiges, before you die. Speaking of, I need you to sign over your stuff real quick. I mean, it makes the looting process easy.
I flick my hand and snap my fingers and cast Mage Hand, and an invisible force starts tugging on Yoi's ear.
The ghosts. They realize I'm trying to scam them. Come on, Bubbles, we gotta get out of here.
We make a good team, though.
Haunting visage.
I'm coming with you.
Oh no, I'm being haunted.
Well, with that, the goblin siege on the port city of Peacock starts to cool down with the war machine that they sent to start the fires and weaken the town's defenses being destroyed. You scattered the goblin morale. The ship in the harbor that you saw flying the colors of the Jolly Roger began bombarding the city from afar with their cannons before eventually lifting anchor and sailing around the city and away from the isle. For now, the town has been saved from the goblin pirates. But what other forces could be waiting upon that ship, and what other dangers could possibly lurk in the briny empire? Those are all questions that we'll discuss and discover the answers to another time. This has been our one shot. Hope y'all enjoyed it.
It was pretty fun. Once I was able to do what I was made to do.
All right. Well, everybody, hope you liked it. We'll be back this weekend for more Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're catching this on recording, we'll see you then. Otherwise, y'all be safe and happy gaming. Bye.